What's up guys, Dylan with the Wash Nerds, and in today's video we're going to show you exactly how to set up and use our RO and DI water filtration cart. This is used to feed our water-fed pole system that we use to clean windows with. So I'll also show you our method for using the water-fed pole to clean windows. It's not necessarily the best method in the world, but it's what works for us, so that's what I'll show you. So starting off with our cart here, all you have to do is connect your inlet water supply. So this is just a garden hose hookup from your customer's house, or in this case my own, but that's going to supply the inlet water, which will flow through our carbon filter. This just prolongs the life of our RO membrane, which is the next stage in the filtration process. So this is essentially getting rid of all your heavier sediments and also neutralizing the chlorine in your water. So then it comes straight up here to the top of our RO membrane, and this is the inlet to the RO membrane. So we have an outlet at the bottom, which will come to our DI tank for further filtration, but essentially we have two outlets. We have a discharge, which is your reject water, and then we have the discharge to our DI tank. So this line going to the DI tank right here is your good water, and ideally we want to get that as low as possible to prolong the life of our DI resin. So there is kind of an ideal reject rate on the water that we discharge from our RO system. So I went ahead and plumbed a RO discharge line, but this is also connected to a little ball valve. So you kind of have to play with it to get it dialed in. During initial testing of this, I actually got our RO reject down to about 20 TDS, which is really, really good. That's going to really extend the life of our resin. And honestly get us, thousands and thousands of gallons before we have to change our RO or DI resin. So we'll show you that exact discharge setting for this cart in a minute, but the only other thing that we have as far as controls is this on-off switch, and this is what actually prevents the water from flowing out to your quick connect to your water-fed pole. All right, so I went ahead and plugged in a garden hose, turned the water on, and as of this point, I still have my DI tank on-off switch closed, and then I have this ball valve for the discharge closed. You can see I have a pretty big hose leak up here, but don't pay any attention to that. That's just on my garden hose. So now I'm going to go ahead and open our discharge a little bit, just to get the flow started. You can see that's actually about right what we want right there. So now I'm going to go ahead and open our DI. I'm actually going to increase our discharge a little bit more. So essentially this is the bad reject water. So this is very high TDS water, whereas this should be relatively close to 0 TDS as long as your DI resin is in good shape. So the next step is actually checking our work and making sure that we have between 0 and 10 TDS coming out of our DI tank. And that's going to make sure that we have spot-free water. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my TDS meter here. And these are super simple to use. You just pretty much press on, collect the water sample in the cap, and 0 TDS. All right, now that we've got 0 TDS water confirmed, we can go ahead and plug in our water-fed pole. So I'm just going to plug this small tube into our quick connect coming off the DI tank. And that is perfectly fine to do while running. So you see now I'll have water coming out of my 2 ports on my water-fed pole, and we are good to go ahead and clean this window. One other thing to note, our kit is from Zero, so we have a Zero Pro 30 pole, but it comes with this swivel head. So for cleaning low windows like this one behind me, I'm going to go ahead and drop that to closer to straight out from the pole. So all you do is release this clamp right here, swivel that, loosen that a couple turns. You can go ahead and rotate your head, tighten it a couple turns, and then clamp it into place. As far as actually cleaning the window, I like to go around the frame twice just to get rid of any loose debris that might be hanging out. So that way when you're rinsing, you don't accidentally bring any of that onto your nice clean window. Then I like to actually kind of frame out the window twice. So actually go around the perimeter of the window twice, once clockwise, once counterclockwise, just to kind of hit everything from different angles. And then you can brush across using small brush strokes and then we'll from top to bottom, and then we'll rinse top to bottom. So I'll go ahead and show you that now. So I'm going around the window frame. I'm just doing the top window for this demonstration. So there's our 2 times opposing motions. Now I'm going to do the same for the actual window itself. And now I'm going to start going across the window with brush strokes like this. This is just to really get any loose debris off. You don't need to be super heavy-handed, but heavy enough to scrub off any built-up debris. And then I can go straight to the top and do my rinse. So you want to take your time with rinsing, because if you don't rinse properly, it's not going to turn out well. And you can see I'm going fairly slow, but in side-to-side motions. And that is it for our window cleaning method. If you guys do have any other questions or want to see anything in more detail, I'd be happy to show it. Just go ahead and drop a comment down below, and thanks for watching.